Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast English Class. We're so glad you're spending this time with us.
Hi, everyone. Jessica, I need to know, do people ever tell you that you seem serious?
Oh, yes. And the funny thing is, I'm not serious at all. I'm just thinking in English.
That happens to so many learners. You're focused, careful, and suddenly people think that's your personality.
And that can feel frustrating, especially when English doesn't reflect who you really are yet.
So let's bring our listeners into this. Have you ever been called quiet, shy, or serious in English, even if that's not true?
If yes, keep listening. Today's episode will help you talk about your personality in a way that feels real, natural, and true to you.
Okay, Jessica, let's start with something very honest. When I speak English, I often feel like I sound smaller than I really am.
Smaller? That's interesting. What do you mean by that?
I mean, in my own language, I'm expressive. I joke, I tell stories, but in English, I pause more. I choose words carefully. And suddenly, people think that's my personality.
Yes, they see the pause, not the person behind it.
Exactly. They don't see what's happening in my head. My brain is busy with grammar, pronunciation, word order. There's no space left for personality.
That reminds me of one of my students. She told me that in meetings, she almost never spoke. Her coworkers thought she was distant. But later, in a one-on-one chat, she explained that she was translating every sentence in her head before speaking. Once they understood that, everything changed.
That's such a relief story, because when you don't explain it, people fill the silence with assumptions.
Exactly. And that's why learners need to know. Sounding quiet in English doesn't mean you are quiet.
It just means your brain is working hard.
Right. Learning a language is like carrying something heavy while walking. You move slower, not because you're lazy, but because your hands are full.
My hands are full of verb tenses.
And while your hands are full, your personality waits. It doesn't disappear, it's just patient.
I really feel that. A few years ago, I went to a small international dinner. Everyone was chatting fast. I smiled, nodded, barely spoke. Later, someone told me, "I thought you were very serious." If they had met me in my own language, they would have thought the opposite.
That's such a common experience. And it hurts a little, doesn't it?
It does. Because you start to wonder, is this how people see me now?
And here's the important part. Fluency and personality don't grow at the same speed.
That's powerful.
First comes accuracy, then comfort. And only after that, personality starts to show naturally.
So if someone sounds serious or quiet in English, it doesn't mean that's who they are.
It just means English hasn't caught up with them yet.
I hope our listeners hear that clearly.
Yes, if you feel quiet in English today, you're not failing. You're learning.
And with every conversation, your personality gets a little more room to breathe.
Not louder, not faster, just more you.
Okay, Jessica, let's build on what we just said. There's one label that keeps coming up for English learners. Serious.
Yes, and most of the time, that label is wrong.
Exactly. People hear fewer jokes, fewer reactions, longer pauses, and they jump to conclusions.
But quiet and serious are not the same thing at all.
Right. Quiet simply means you don't talk much. Serious means you don't laugh, you don't enjoy light moments, you don't relax.
And a lot of English learners are quiet because they're careful, not because they're strict or cold.
I think this misunderstanding causes a lot of stress.
It does. Learners start thinking, I sound serious, so maybe I am serious, even when that's not true.
And that's dangerous because language shouldn't change how you see yourself.
Exactly. English is a tool, not a personality test.
So how do we help learners separate these ideas?
First, by giving them simple language to explain themselves.
Like what?
For example, I'm quiet at first, but I'm friendly once I feel comfortable.
That sentence alone can change how people see you.
Yes, because it replaces silence with clarity.
I like that. Silence leaves space for misunderstanding, but explanation closes the gap.
And it also helps learners understand others.
How so?
If someone is quiet in English, instead of thinking they're unfriendly, you can think they might be processing.
That's such a kinder interpretation.
It is, and kindness in communication goes both ways.
I've noticed that when I feel relaxed, my English sounds warmer.
That's not a coincidence. When stress goes down, personality comes up.
So sounding serious isn't about who you are. It's about how tense you feel.
Exactly, and tension fades with practice.
Which means this problem is temporary.
Yes, very temporary. Temporary.
I wish more learners knew that.
That's why we're saying it clearly now.
If people think you're serious because you're quiet in English,
That doesn't define you.
it just means you're still finding your rhythm.
And once that rhythm comes, your humor, warmth, and personality will follow naturally.
So today's takeaway is simple.
Quiet is not serious.
And careful is not boring.
You're allowed to be thoughtful and friendly at the same time.
And English will catch up, one conversation at a time. So after talking about quiet and serious, there's another pair of labels people love to use.
Yes, introvert and extrovert.
Exactly. I hear these words everywhere, but I'm not sure everyone really understands them.
That's true. Many people think introvert means shy and extrovert means confident, but that's not accurate.
So let's clear it up. How would you explain an extrovert?
An extrovert is someone who gets energy from being around other people. Talking, meeting, sharing, that's what fills them up.
So after a long party, they feel alive.
Yes, while introverts often feel the opposite. Too much social time can feel draining.
And they need quiet time to recharge.
Exactly. Alone time helps them reset.
But here's the important part. Being introverted doesn't mean being unfriendly.
Not at all. Some introverts are warm, funny, and very talkative with the right people.
They just don't want to do that all day.
Right? It's about energy, not ability.
I used to think I had to choose one label forever.
Many people think that, but personality isn't that strict.
Because honestly, some days I love talking to everyone. Other days I just want silence.
That's very normal. Most people are somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere between introvert and extrovert.
Yes, some people call that being an ambivert.
I like that word. It sounds flexible.
And it is. It means your energy depends on the situation, the people, and even your mood.
That actually feels very human.
Exactly. Labels should help us understand ourselves, not limit us.
I think English learners feel pressure here too.
How so?
If they're quiet in English, they think, I must be an introvert, even if that's not true in their own language.
That's such a good point. Language can temporarily change how you appear.
So someone might sound introverted in English, but extroverted in their native language.
Yes, and that can be confusing if you don't understand what's happening.
Which brings us back to awareness.
Exactly. When you know these differences, you stop judging yourself.
And you stop forcing yourself to act a certain way.
You don't need to become louder to be valuable.
Or quieter to be accepted.
You just need language that fits you.
So whether you recharge alone, with people, or somewhere in between,
all of it is normal.
And English has space for every kind of personality.
You just need time to let yours show.
Now that we've talked about introverts and extroverts, there's another word that often confuses people. Outgoing.
Yes, and this one is really interesting because it's easy to misunderstand.
I used to think outgoing meant the same thing as extroverted.
A lot of people think that, but they're not exactly the same.
So what's the difference?
Outgoing is about how you act on the outside. It's about behavior, not energy.
So an outgoing person talks easily, smiles, and starts conversations.
Exactly. They seem open and friendly, especially with new people.
But that doesn't mean they feel energized inside.
Right. Someone can be outgoing and still feel tired afterward.
That actually explains a lot.
Many people act outgoing at work or in social situations because they need to, not because it feels natural.
I've done that. I smile, I talk, I ask questions, and then I go home exhausted.
And that doesn't mean you're fake. It means you're adapting. It means you're adapting.
That's an important message for learners.
Yes, because some learners think, if I'm friendly in English, I must be extroverted.
Or the opposite. If I'm introverted, I can't be outgoing.
But both of those ideas are wrong.
So you can be introverted and outgoing at the same time?
Absolutely. Outgoing describes your social skills. Introverted describes how you recharge.
I wish someone had explained it like that earlier.
It makes things much clearer, doesn't it?
It does, and it also removes pressure.
Exactly. You don't need to change who you are inside to communicate well.
You can choose how you act in different situations.
And that's actually a strength.
Because it means you have flexibility.
Yes. For example, someone might be quiet at home, but outgoing at work.
Or outgoing with friends but quiet in big groups.
And all of that is completely normal.
I think English learners often judge themselves too harshly here.
They do. They think they have to fit one label perfectly.
But language gives us more options than that.
It does. You can say things like, I'm usually quiet, but I can be outgoing when I feel comfortable.
That sentence alone explains so much.
And it helps other people understand you better.
So the key idea is this.
How you act doesn't always show how you feel inside.
And that's okay.
English doesn't need to put you in a box.
It just needs to give you the words to explain yourself.
And once you have those words, communication becomes much easier.
We've talked about quiet, serious, introverts, and being outgoing. Now, there's another feeling many learners recognize very well. Being shy.
Yes, shy is such an honest word, and so many people relate to it.
I definitely do. When I meet someone new in English, my mind goes blank.
That's a classic shy moment. Shy means you feel nervous or uncomfortable around people you don't know well.
And that nervous feeling can make your English disappear.
Exactly. Your words don't disappear forever, but they hide for a moment.
The important thing is that shyness is usually temporary.
Yes, many people are shy at first and then slowly relax.
That's true for me. After a few minutes, I start to feel more like myself.
And that's where confidence comes in.
Confidence feels like the opposite of shy.
In some ways, yes. Confidence means you feel sure of yourself. You're not constantly worrying about how you sound or what others think.
But confidence doesn't arrive overnight.
No, it grows with experience. Every small conversation helps.
I like that idea. Small conversations, not big jumps.
Exactly. You don't need to suddenly become fearless. You just need to feel a little safer each time.
That makes confidence feel more realistic.
And English gives us great language to talk about that process.
Like what?
You can say, I'm becoming more confident, or I'm getting more comfortable speaking.
I like those phrases because they show movement.
Yes, they show growth, not perfection.
What about words like bold or assertive? I hear those a lot too.
Good question. Bold means you're willing to take risks. You try things even if you're not sure.
So bold is about action.
Exactly. Assertive is a little different. It means you express your opinions clearly and stand up for yourself.
So a confident person believes in themselves, a bold person takes chances, and an assertive person speaks up.
Perfect summary.
That actually helps me see confidence as something with many forms.
Yes. Confidence isn't loud. It isn't perfect grammar.
Sometimes it's just saying one sentence and not apologizing for it.
Exactly. Or saying, can you repeat that? Without feeling embarrassed.
That's a big step for many learners.
It is. And every time you do it, confidence grows a little more.
So if you're shy today,
That doesn't mean you'll always be shy.
it just means you're at the beginning of the process.
And English has words for every step of that journey.
Now that we've talked about confidence and shyness, there's another personality word that people often misunderstand. Reserved.
Yes, reserved is a really important one, especially in professional situations.
I used to think reserved was just another way to say shy.
A lot of people think that, but they're not the same.
So how would you explain reserved?
A reserved person is someone who doesn't share personal thoughts or feelings easily. They keep things to themselves. They keep things to themselves.
So it's more about privacy than fear.
Exactly. A reserved person may feel perfectly comfortable around others. They just don't open up quickly.
That's such an important difference.
It is, because reserved often gets a negative label when it shouldn't.
People might think reserved means cold or distant.
Yes, but in reality, it often means thoughtful or careful.
I know someone like that at work. She's friendly and polite, but she never talks about her personal life.
That's a perfect example of being reserved. She's not unfriendly, she's private.
And privacy can actually be a strength.
Absolutely. In many cultures and workplaces, being reserved is seen as professional and respectful.
I think English learners struggle here too.
Yeah, how so?
They worry that if they don't share a lot, people will misunderstand them.
That's true. But English gives us language to explain this gently.
Like what?
You can say, I'm a bit reserved, or I'm quite private.
Those phrases sound calm and neutral.
Yes, they don't apologize. They just explain.
I like that. Explaining without defending yourself.
Exactly. You don't need to change who you are to be accepted.
You just need the right words.
And reserved doesn't mean you'll never open up.
It just means you choose when and with whom.
Right? Many reserved people become very warm once trust is built.
So reserved is about timing, not distance.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
I think this helps listeners stop judging themselves.
And stop judging others too.
Because not everyone needs to share everything.
And that's perfectly okay.
English should help us respect differences, not erase them. Not erase them.
And words like reserved help us do exactly that.
We've talked a lot about how people feel and interact. Now let's shift to something a bit more practical. How people operate.
Ah, yes, planning styles. This is where personalities really show up.
Especially in work situations.
Exactly. Some people love structure. They like schedules, lists, and clear plans.
Those are often called type A personalities, right?
Yes. Type O people are usually organized, driven, and goal-focused. They like to know what's happening next.
They feel calm when everything's planned. Things planned.
Right. Planning gives them control and peace of mind.
And then there are people like me.
Let me guess. More flexible?
Very flexible. I prefer to decide as I go.
That's often described as type B.
Type B sounds much more relaxed. Much more relaxed.
It is. Type B people are usually easygoing, adaptable, and less stressed by changes.
Easygoing is a great word.
Yes, easygoing means you don't get upset easily. You're calm, relaxed, and open to change.
I feel very seen right now.
And that's the point. These words help people understand themselves, not judge themselves.
I think English learners worry here too.
How so?
They think being spontaneous or relaxed sounds unprofessional.
But that's not true. Spontaneous simply means you can act without over-planning.
Like deciding to do something in the moment.
Exactly. And in many situations, that's a strength.
Especially when plans change.
Yes, flexible people often handle uncertainty better.
So organized isn't always better than easygoing.
And easygoing isn't better than organized. They serve different purposes.
I like that balance.
Me too. And English gives us neutral, respectful language for both styles.
You can say, I'm very organized, or I'm more spontaneous, without apologizing.
Exactly. You're describing, not defending.
I also like the phrase, go with the flow.
That's a great one. It means you accept things as they happen instead of fighting them.
That feels very type B.
It does. And again, neither style is right or wrong.
They just explain how you move through life.
And when people understand that, teamwork becomes much easier.
Because instead of judging, you start adjusting.
Exactly. Language helps us meet in the middle.
After talking about planning styles, there's another part of personality that shows up very clearly: how we like to spend our free time.
Yes, social preferences say a lot about us.
Some people feel happiest when they're around others.
Those people are often called people persons.
I like that phrase. It sounds very positive.
It is. A people person enjoys talking, connecting, and being around others. They often feel energized by interaction.
They're the kind of people who know everyone in the office.
Exactly. They remember names, start conversations, and enjoy teamwork.
And then there's the other side.
The homebodies.
That's definitely me on weekends.
Same here. A homebody prefers staying at home, relaxing, and enjoying quiet activities.
Like reading, watching shows, or just doing nothing.
Yes. And that doesn't mean being lazy or antisocial.
It just means you recharge at home.
Exactly. Just like some people recharge with others, some recharge alone.
I think learners sometimes feel embarrassed to say they're a homebody.
They do. They worry it sounds boring.
But it really doesn't.
Not at all. It sounds calm and self-aware.
And it's very honest.
Yes, English has room for both lifestyles.
You can say, I'm a people person during the week, but a homebody on weekends.
That's a great example. It shows balance.
Because most people aren't just one thing.
Exactly. Personality changes with context.
I also noticed this difference when traveling.
How so?
Some people want to meet everyone, go out every night. Others want quiet mornings and early nights.
Both are valid ways to enjoy life.
And English lets us explain that without judgment.
That's the key. These words are descriptive, not critical.
So being social isn't better than being a homebody.
And staying home isn't better than going out.
They're just different ways of taking care of yourself.
Exactly. And when learners understand that, they stop trying to copy others. They stop trying to copy others.
They start describing themselves instead.
And that's when English starts to feel personal.
Not a performance.
But a reflection of who you really are.
We've learned so many personality words, but there's one more skill that really matters. How to talk about other people without sounding rude.
Yes, this is where things can get tricky.
Because some personality words sound very negative.
Exactly. The meaning might be true, but the feeling can hurt.
And in English, feeling is just as important as meaning.
That's why we need tactful language.
Tactful means careful and polite, right?
Yes, it means you choose words that respect other people's feelings.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Instead of saying someone is bossy, you can say they're good at taking charge.
That sounds much nicer.
It does. Or instead of determined or strong-willed, you can say determined or strong-willed.
Same behavior, different tone.
Exactly. The action doesn't change, but the attitude does.
I think this is especially important at work.
Very important. One word can change how professional you sound.
What about moody? That one sounds quite negative.
Moody means someone's emotions change a lot. A softer option could be sensitive or emotional.
Those feel more understanding, so.
Yes, they leave room for empathy.
And if someone talks a lot?
Instead of annoying, you can say they're very talkative or chatty.
Chatty actually sounds friendly.
It does. That's the power of tone.
So tactful language helps protect relationships.
Exactly. It helps you be honest without being harsh.
I think learners worry they'll sound fake if they use softer words.
But it's not about being fake. It's about being thoughtful.
Choosing words carefully shows emotional intelligence.
Yes, it shows you understand how language affects people.
And that's a big part of fluency.
Real fluency isn't just grammar, it's knowing how to speak with care.
So when we describe others, we're also showing who we are.
Exactly. Our language reflects our values.
I like that idea.
Me too. English gives us many options. You just need to choose the right one.
And when you do, conversations feel smoother.
More respectful.
And more human. We've talked about so many personality words today, but there's one last idea I really love.
Me too. It's the idea that personality isn't fixed.
Yes, we're not the same people we were 5 or 10 years ago.
Exactly. And English gives us beautiful ways to talk about that change.
One of my favorite phrases is, I used to be, but now I'm...
That structure is powerful because it tells a story.
It shows movement, not a label.
Right. You're not saying who you are forever. You're saying where you're coming from and where you're going.
Like, I used to be very shy, but now I'm more confident.
That's a great example. It's honest and hopeful at the same time.
I also like saying, I'm becoming more...
Yes, that phrase is gentle. It doesn't rush growth.
It gives you permission to be in progress.
Exactly. Nobody expects you to change overnight.
There's also a really nice expression. I've come out of my shell.
I love that one. It paints such a clear picture.
Like a turtle slowly feeling safe enough to look around.
Yes, it means you were quiet or reserved before, but now you're opening up.
And it feels positive, not forced.
Another lovely phrase is, someone grows on you.
Oh yes, that one took me a while to understand.
It means you don't like someone much at first, but over time, you start to appreciate them.
So personalities can feel different once you really know someone.
Exactly. First impressions aren't the whole story.
And sometimes you click with someone right away.
Yes, you can say, we clicked, or we hit it off.
Those phrases feel very natural.
They do, and they remind us that connection isn't logical, it's human.
I think this is such an encouraging message for learners.
Me too, because it means your English personality can grow just like you do.
You don't have to perfectly describe yourself today.
You just need to start.
One word, one sentence, one honest description.
And over time, your language will feel more and more like you.
So to everyone listening, here's a small challenge.
Think of 2 or 3 words that describe you right now.
Not who you were before.
And not who you think you should be.
Just who you are today.
Say them out loud, even if it feels a little uncomfortable.
That's how confidence begins.
And remember, your personality is not something to hide.
It's something to slowly, gently share.
We're really glad you're learning with us.
Keep going, keep practicing, and keep being yourself.
We'll see you again very soon.